Some horror stories are born from ghosts, others are born from people, and those are the ones that never stop haunting you. This one began in Madison, Indiana, in the winter of 1992. Shanda Sharer was just 12 years old. Bright, funny, and shy around strangers, she was fearless with friends. She loved cheerleading and filled her diary with glitter pen notes about her crushes. Little did she know, she would become a name whispered alongside monsters. The girls who would kill her weren't strangers. They were teenagers, barely older than Shanda. The ringleader, Melinda Lovelace, was 16. She had been dating Amanda Heverin until Amanda started spending time with Shanda. What followed was a storm of obsession, humiliation, and rage that spiraled out of control. Melinda wanted revenge, and she didn't want to do it alone. She enlisted 3 others, Lori Tackett, Hope Rippey, and Tony Lawrence. They weren't evil in the movie sense, just young, angry, and desperate to belong to something darker. On January 10th, 1992, a cold, dark night, the 4 girls drove to Shanda's house, claiming they'd take her to meet Amanda. Shanda, excited yet nervous, sneaked out in her pajamas. They laughed and played music, almost like friends. But when the car veered off the highway into the back roads, the mood shifted. Lori pulled out a knife. Shanda's smile vanished. They took her to a place known as the Witch's Castle, a crumbling ruin deep in the woods. There, they tied her up, taunted her, cut her hair, and told her she'd never see daylight again. The details that followed are almost unspeakable. They beat her, stabbed her, and stuffed her in the trunk when she screamed. Hours later, they stopped for gas, her muffled cries still echoing. Witnesses would later recall hearing someone whisper, "That girl's still alive." But no one called the police. Before dawn, they dragged Shanda from the trunk, bruised and terrified, and set her on fire. She was just 12. The next day, a farmer saw smoke rising and discovered what remained of her body. The sheriff described the scene as pure evil. Meanwhile, the girls laughed about it over breakfast, comparing burns on their hands, but guilt and fear soon cracked their pact, and within days, they confessed. When the truth emerged, even seasoned detectives wept. None of the girls were executed, they were too young. Melinda, Lori, and Hope received long sentences, while Tony cooperated for a lighter one. In 2019, the last of them was released. The world kept turning, but for those who remember that night, it never felt the same. The real miracle came from Shanda's mother, Jackie Vaught. Years later, she did something unimaginable. She met with Melinda Lovelace and forgave her. "Hate is a heavy thing to carry," she said. "I needed to let it go before it killed me too." Melinda began working in prison programs, training service dogs for veterans, finally doing something good in her life. Locals still say that on cold January nights, if you drive down Lemon Road, you might see a faint shimmer of light in the fields. Some say it's frost, others swear it's Shanda's spirit still trying to come home. But maybe it's not her ghost that haunts that place. Maybe it's the reminder that monsters aren't born in shadows. They're made in daylight, out of jealousy, cruelty, and the silence of those who look away. Shanda Sharer never lived to see